Japan has reacted sharply, attacking Chinese diplomats for urging Japan to end discrimination against native Ryukyuan. Amid this controversy, we spoke directly with a Ryukyuan to hear how the community views its history, identity, and Japan's current policies. Why do many Ryukyuan believe they were never part of Japan? And why did Japan itself historically never dare to treat the Ryukyu kingdom as part of Japan?
Great question. So since time immemorial, Okinawa was an independent country known as Ryukyu. Ryukyu was recognized by China, Korea, Southeast Asia, the United States, France, and the Netherlands, and even by Japan itself as an independent country. In 1879, Japan invaded and annexed Ryukyu against the will of Ryukyuans, renaming it Okinawa Prefecture. And that is the start of Japanese colonization of Ryukyu. Japan would go on to invade much of the Asia Pacific during its march towards World War II. However, after the war, all of these other countries began to receive their independence back, except for Ryukyu. We have our own culture, history, languages, values, beliefs, and identity that is separate and distinct from the Japanese. Sometimes Japanese values and beliefs contradict or clash with Ryukyuan values and beliefs. And so this is a common source of tension or conflict between Ryukyuans or Okinawans today versus the Japanese. Why did Japan itself historically never dare to treat the Ryukyu kingdom as part of Japan? Because the Japanese historically, up until the 1870s, up until the Meiji Restoration basically, it wanted to keep Japan. And the Japanese knew that Ryukyuans were not Japanese. So if you look at any of the historical documents or maps prior to the Meiji Restoration, they clearly state that Ryukyu was not part of Japan. They didn't want Ryukyu to be part of Japan because they didn't want to make Japan seem impure by bringing in foreigners.
What happened during Japan's colonization of Ryukyu, and how do people feel about that history today?
Well, as I mentioned, 1879 Japanese invasion, and so Japan tried its best to erase Ryukyu history, even renaming Ryukyu to Okinawa Prefecture. It tried to eradicate Ryukyu history, culture, languages, everything. To this date, all of the native Ryukyuan languages are very much endangered. And during World War II, Japan deliberately placed an inordinate amount of military presence in Okinawa with the intent to sacrifice Okinawans in order to save Japan. This resulted in the Battle of Okinawa, in which 1/3 of the native Okinawan population was killed in 1945. It is said that every Okinawan family lost someone in 1945. So Okinawans are really afraid that this could happen again. Even though Okinawa makes up less than 1% of Japan's land area, it houses over 70% of Japan's military presence. So in the event of another war, who is going to be targeted? Of course, it's going to be Okinawans again, due to the large military presence in a very small area.
How do Ryukyuan view Japan's new prime minister, especially her recent remarks about Taiwan?
Prime Minister Takaichi was not the preferred candidate in the recent election among Ryukyuans or Okinawans. Most Okinawans view Prime Minister Takaichi as hawkish, very much in the same vein as former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Now, regarding her recent comments about Taiwan and about how Japan should help defend Taiwan in the event of a crisis, that's basically calling for flat-out war against China. Okinawans, of course, were very concerned about this as well, because in the event of a war between China and Japan, Japanese military presence in Okinawa will certainly be targeted, which means devastation for Okinawans again.